कोविड-19 से रिलेटेड ये ऑब्जर्वेशन रिपोर्ट का आगे फर्दर फॉलोअप है। इसको हम आपके सामने अभी चर्चा कर रहे हैं। इसके जो पॉइंट्स थे ऑब्जर्वेशंस का उसको हम देखते हैं। लाइक sometimes remaining in observatory mode avails opportunity to develop the insight of the invigilation for evaluating the issues। जैसे एक एजेंडा है, कोरोना है, इसका करेंट ग्लोबल कॉन्टेक्स्ट क्या है? करेंट ग्लोबल कॉन्टेक्स्ट कि अभी हाउ वी थिंक अबाउट द perseverance related with observation of community behavior about COVID-19, right? So people are leading their life peacefully, right? There are rallies are being organized. Rally हो रहा है ना? Election camping are going on. Market is running properly. Festive season have started, right? But if we observe the context, तो जो recent news published with reference to the agitation in China, there are agitations. People are revolting, protesting, but they are wearing mask. मास्क पहन के लोग वहाँ पे प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं, रिवोल्ट कर रहे हैं। कहाँ पे? चाइना में जो पार्ट है। यहाँ पे अगला चीज़ देखते हैं, ये इंडिया का पार्ट हो गया। ग्लोबल कॉन्टेक्स्ट में इससे रिलेटेड जो चीज़ें सारे अलग अलग कंट्री वाले दे कैन एक्सप्रेस देयर ओन पर्सपेक्टिव। नंबर 2, कोरोना मीन्स और ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन अबाउट कोरोना। व्हाट डज इट मीन ऑफ कोविड-19, राइट? Whether it is related with solar corona emission or something else. Okay. The third one is about aims and objectives of WHO's corona program, detailed project implementation program, that WHO should present its corona program narratives and details, that what was the aims and objectives for universalization of health services as they have planned, and their further implementation plan. Let me explain for a while that how they implemented for management of the concerned diseases. The next aspect includes objectives of the ongoing disaster and how initiatives were taken for its proper management. The next thing about baseline survey report about the disease and its related management. Baseline survey report of WHO on SDG, on health. Then the next thing about global need assessment of health demands, and it's like a need of global vulnerable community and related management. Then the next thing is about implementation algorithm on 4-quadrant impact assessment system, like input, what were the inputs, what were the outputs, what were the outcomes, and impact model analysis report for COVID-19 management. Then another aspect is about indicators of monitoring the progress, that what were the indicators for monitoring the progress of the improvement of the stature of the individuals during this disaster periods. Then the next aspect that need to be developed and discussed, like global corona action plan, what kind of action plan were formulated and implemented. Insight and elaborative explanations on these aspects will help the policymakers to understand the relevant way forward for epidemic and pandemic management, right? Then the next aspect about in LDCs, least developed countries, into the context of least developed countries, how initiatives were taken. Hello. And how funds were provided to them. Then the next one is about targeted project participants profile, that who were the targeted project participants and how they were taken into the consideration for their screening, for their diagnostic, and for their treatment. Then the individual profile based intervention, individual profile based intervention of the related factors. Then reports on suggestions and recommendations from the executive heads of the nations. What were the reports and suggestions reported by the health experts across the globe for its management? Then the related way forwards for its management, and like internal audit or performance audit of WHO by UNICEF. Give me 5 minutes, let me finish. Internal audit or performance audit of the World Health Organization by UNICEF, because UNICEF works for children. and it has outreach to the health and nutrition centers at Anganwadi centers, its related management, then onwards, then how it was launched, and about whether it was political propaganda or something else, because your virus stands for Viceroy, international political context, everything. Then non-allied movements of like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the ultimate goal to ensure regulation of the interventions of the supreme medical representatives of the international alliances. United States of America has been influential into the United Nations because of its geographical presence and outreach through local vendor management protocol. अब होता है these are the one of the several privilege of the Central Intelligence of America, KGB, Supreme Intelligence Agency of Russia, counters this power balance through its global outreach program. Intelligence bureaus of India and all other countries should need to increase their technological exchange and coordination through Interpol under the regulatory law of Security Council because of the mandatory as well as casual involvement of the UN representatives in the local public events and interaction with representatives of nation native affairs and representatives from the different continents of the globe. Its vital potential to influence the global consensus on convention and treaties are remarkable. Global emergency response system was practiced in a haphazard manner. Verifying public announcements of pandemic created panic among the pupils of intelligible information technology profession. Literate and medically conscious were the prime victims of the catastrophic deadly announcement of virus by Mr. X Recognito. May peace prevail. So these are the assertions